welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Dara, and on this channel I document my weight loss journey. I also talk about remote work tips and study tips, and occasionally I post about lifestyle content. And if that sounds like something you enjoy, make sure you subscribe. Now, if you watched my last video, you remember that I said that this week I was going to teach you or show you how to write a winning cover letter on Upwork. And if you didn't watch that video, that's totally fine. I'll put it up here so you can check it out later. So without wasting much time, let's get right into the video. So if you've ever looked for a job on Upwork, you'll notice that you cannot apply for any job on Upwork without a cover letter. And the mistakes a lot of people make when applying to these jobs is that they recycle the same cover letter. That is, they use the same cover letter for different job applications. That means the one where you use to apply for a virtual assistant role, and then you see this time that it is a customer service role, and then you still go ahead to use the same cover letter for it. It's a mistake a lot of people make, and it shouldn't be. You should be able to tailor your cover letter to match a particular job description. That means each job application you make should come with its own cover letter, except both job applications are 100% similar, which is very rare. Other than that, then you should have a different cover letter for a different job application. If you've been copying and pasting the same cover letter and sending it to clients, this is your sign to stop that. So clients can tell where the cover letter is just generic or passed down from one client to the next, and if they can tell, if they detect that this is what you're doing, even if you're overqualified for the job, you wouldn't stand a chance. If you're on Upwork, you would notice that for you to land one remote job, you would have written over 100 cover letters. So after writing several cover letters over the years, I've come to develop what might be a formula which I apply in writing my cover letter, and it is something like a 5-part rule which I adhere to whenever I am writing my cover letter. I'm going to break down the formula for you step by step so you can follow in your next job application on Upwork. So in the first paragraph, my first and only goal is to show the client that I understand what the role is about, that I understand the pain points of the client, because every client who is seeking to hire a new employee has a pain point which he or she wants that employee to potentially solve. So the first step I always do is to make sure I understand this pain point. So instead of starting with the generic line, like something like I'm writing to apply for the role of, I delve into the job immediately just to show the client that I understand what he or she wants. So for instance, I could start with something like, I understand that you're looking to hire a virtual assistant who will help with organizing your inbox, managing the schedule, and handle other administrative tasks so you can focus on scaling your business. So this on its own already tells the client that you read the job post and you totally get the client and you understand what it is that the client is looking for, as opposed to the first one where you just give a generic beginning, a generic intro like, oh, I'm writing to apply for the post of a virtual assistant. This second one gives more details, shows the client that you totally have read the job post and you understand what it is that you're supposed to do for the client. In the second paragraph, I talk about my relevant experience that relates directly to the job. So I don't just list out the experiences and leave it at that. Instead, I explain how my experiences helped my previous clients to grow his business. For instance, you could say something like, in my previous role as a virtual assistant, I helped my clients to manage his inbox, organize his files, and schedule his appointments, which helped my clients to reduce missed emails and missed appointments. So what does that show you? It shows you that clients don't just want to know what you did, they want to know how what you did helped the business to grow. So you should always have this in mind when applying to a job. So the third part of my cover letter is where I talk about my hard skills and possibly the tools which the client has mentioned, because there are cases where the client could ask if you know how to use these tools, if you're conversant with certain tools. So this is where I try to make the client understand that yes, I do know these tools, I've used these tools before. If a client mentions tools like Google Workspace, Microsoft Excel, Trello, Asana, and the like, I make sure to address them directly. So it could be anything like, I'm comfortable using Google Workspace for document creation and collaboration, Google Sheets or Excel for basic data entry or data tracking, and Trello or Asana or any of the project management tools for task management. So what has this part done for you? This part has shown the clients that you're not entirely a newbie and he wouldn't have to teach you everything from the scratch, as they already understand how to use certain tools. This is a very great tip because I know a client who told me he hired me simply because he saw then that I was conversant with the tool and I had used the tool before. And I must be honest with you, I probably never used the tool before. But this is what I do. If I have mentioned that I can use a tool or I know the tool, then what I do is after I've submitted my job application, I use that time to scan, get myself acquainted with that tool, just so if the client gets back to me, I'm not totally lost on it. I have an idea of how the tool looks. But this is what you can do because there's so many project management tools and you can't honestly know all of them. But if you see where one is being mentioned in a job application, then you should try your best to go through it, see how it looks after you make your job application. And of course, you will tell the client that you know how to use it. You used it before, just to make the client comfortable enough to hire you. But make sure that you do your homework by going to look at the tool and making sure that you understand how it works, so that you are not you don't come across as a liar when eventually you get an interview from the client. Now the fourth paragraph, this is where I talk about my soft skills, because in as much as hard skills are necessary to land a job, so are soft skills. And what are the soft skills you need? Skills such as attentiveness to detail, organization, being a fast learner, and the list goes on and on. So I make sure to mention these soft skills as well when I am writing my cover letter. So I could say something like, I'm very attentive to detail, I communicate clearly, and I'm very organized. I'm also a fast learner, and there's something I always add, something like, I'm a fast learner, so I can adapt to even those things which I previously did not know. Once I am shown, then I'll adapt and learn it as fast as possible. Something like that, because I'm sure there are some job roles where you do not necessarily know what it is about. You have to be shown, and that alone shows the person that you are a good learner, a fast learner, and whatever it is that you have to be taught, you are going to learn it. So that line could be something like, I'm attentive to detail, I am highly organized, and I communicate clearly, which helps tasks to be completed on time, because it's a remote work, so you need these soft skills, and very important in a remote job, because if you're not available to communicate clearly and make sure that things are moving swiftly, then how do we manage? Do we come to your house to find you? Of course not. So always try to tie it back to the role, because soft skills matter a lot in remote work. In the last and final paragraph, I close confidently and professionally. I could say something like, I'll be happy to discuss how my skills can help improve your work. And then I always add a PS just to continue the conversation. For instance, I could say something like, PS, I noticed you mentioned Google Sheets and Excel. Which of them do you think you work best with? Something like that, just a conversation starter, just to show interest in the job. So what this does is that it gives the client an easy reason to reply your message. So let's write an actual cover letter, making use of our 5-part formula for writing cover letter. So here is a sample job application by a client. Let me just read it out for you. They are seeking a highly skilled virtual assistant to help with daily administrative tasks, project management, and client communications. The ideal candidate should possess exceptional organizational abilities, attention to detail, and proficiency in various software applications. You will be responsible for managing schedules, responding to emails, and conducting research. Your expertise will significantly contribute to our team's efficiency and productivity. If you are proactive, reliable, and have a knack for multitasking, we would love to hear from you. Okay, so that's what it reads. So now let's apply. Referring to Upwork that I'm human. Okay, so here goes. Yeah. So assuming the client's name is Martins, we're gonna go with Dear Martins. I understand that you are looking for a virtual assistant who can he also said somebody who can do project management. So you don't want to say you won't just write like project management, something like manage project. And he also they wanted someone who can help with client communication. So you add there and handle client communication. And so everything runs smoothly. So that's the first paragraph showing understanding of the job. And the next one will be in my previous work, or let's go with role as a virtual assistant. I've supported business owners by managing schedules, responding to emails, and then research. Oops. And then we support and this helps with staying organized and deadline and focus more on their core work instead of daily admin work. So that's the second paragraph showing that you have done this for other clients and you're happy to do it for him. And the third paragraph, remember, we're going to be talking about our hard skills, which he mentioned generally as the person should have an idea of project management tools. Okay, so we'll start by saying something like, I'm comfortable using tools like Google Workspace, email, and documents, project, sort of like familiar with project management tools such as Notion, and ClickUp, which I use for task tracking, and spreadsheets for organizing information. We could also add that I'm also familiar with tools like Slack and Team for communication. Okay. For communication. Not because you can mention all of the tools here at once, because there's so many project management tools. You want to put that, and even if you were to mention all of them, it's possible that you are not familiar with every tool. So you want to add this line that quick to learn new software and follow systems already in place. So yeah, again, this is just to show that you can also learn whatever software they use, even if we didn't mention them here, or even if you've never seen them before, you can also follow systems which have already been put in place. Okay, so the next paragraph, we'll be talking about our soft skills. Very important, remember. We'll go. I'm very organized, detail oriented, and reliable. I communicate clearly, stay proactive. You start with the ones which you already really emphasize, such as proactiveness, and make sure tasks are completed accurately and on time. Full stop. I'm also good at handling multiple tasks without losing focus. And then over to our last paragraph, which is just a summary and a call to action. So it would be something like, I'll be happy to support your team and help improve daily workflow. Please let me know if you would like to discuss how we can assist you. Okay, good stuff. Best regards. Good stuff. You don't have to add your surname like in a traditional cover letter. And then don't forget our PF. Since he talked about project management tools, you want to ask which one he presently uses, so you can say something like, how do you currently manage your project? Do you already use a tool like Notion or ClickUp? So yeah, so you end with that PS, which is like a conversation starter, like I mentioned. And after you write all of this down, then you're ready to apply for your job. So you scroll down and you see what you can send for a number of connects. And yeah, that's how to do a cover letter using our 5 parts formula. So the biggest thing you can learn from here is that the cover letter is really not about you. It is not time to tell the clients where you graduated from, what your name is and where you're from, or how many siblings you have. There is no time for that. Instead, it is about the client and the client's problems and how you can help the client. So once you can show the clients that you understand what the client needs and you can help the clients get results, your chances of receiving replies increase massively. If this video helps you, do not forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also let me know in the comment section if you would like more Upwork related content, or we could go over to other remote work tips. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.